Hello, and welcome to Sci-Fi Stories. Join us on an exhilarating journey through a galaxy teetering on the brink of chaos. Follow Zane, a rogue technomancer, and Aria, a determined starship captain, as they forge an uneasy alliance to uncover the secrets of an ancient relic known as the Nexus. Together, they'll face mercenaries, unravel dark mysteries, and navigate the tangled web of their growing attraction. Will their bond be strong enough to withstand the darkness that threatens to consume everything? Prepare for an epic adventure filled with danger, intrigue, and unexpected twists. Let's dive into the world of the Nexus of Shadows. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Chapter 1: The Relic Awakens. The remnants of the old world lay scattered among the stars, a graveyard of forgotten technology and lost dreams. Zane crouched in the cockpit of the derelict spacecraft, his fingers dancing over the rusted controls. A low hum vibrated beneath him, and the air crackled with an energy he hadn't felt in years. He'd been a scavenger long enough to know that this vessel held secrets, and today he intended to unearth them. As he adjusted a dial, the screens flickered to life, illuminating the shadows with eerie green light. The vessel shuddered, and an ancient hologram flickered into existence, a swirling vortex of light and data. Accessing? It whispered, the voice barely more than a ghostly echo. Zane leaned closer, heart racing. Suddenly, the room around him distorted, swirling like water in a drain. Visions flooded his mind, flickers of worlds unmade, stars collapsing, and a pulsing, all-consuming darkness. Panic surged as he grasped at the edges of his sanity, but before he could react, the vision snapped away, leaving him breathless and alone. A warning alarm blared, snapping him back to reality. Zane cursed under his breath. This wasn't the first time he'd stumbled upon something dangerous, but the Nexus was different. It was alive. Chapter 2: The Chase Begins. Meanwhile, aboard the sleek warship Valiant, Captain Aria received her orders. The Galactic Council had detected a spike of energy from the direction of the abandoned sector, and they suspected Zane was involved. She leaned over the control panel, determination etched on her features. "Prepare for jump," she commanded, her voice steady. Aria had trained for years to become the youngest captain in the fleet, and she wouldn't let a rogue technomancer slip through her fingers. Zane was a criminal, a wild card, and he was dangerous. But beneath that danger was a raw potential that intrigued her, a potential that had to be contained. As the ship shimmered into hyperspace, a thrill coursed through her. She had fought too hard for her position to allow anyone, especially someone like Zane, to jeopardize her mission. The Council's faith in her depended on capturing him and securing the Nexus. Chapter 3: Unlikely Alliance. Zane barely had time to process what he'd seen before a trio of sleek ships closed in on him. The Galactic Council's fleet had arrived. Adrenaline surged through his veins as he activated the thrusters, weaving through the debris-strewn remnants of the old world. The ships pursued, relentless and precise. In a desperate bid, Zane made a sharp turn, heading for the atmosphere of a nearby planet. He had no intention of going down without a fight. As he skimmed the surface, dodging energy blasts, he felt the familiar thrill of danger, his constant companion. The moment his ship touched down, he scrambled out, making his way into the dense jungle, hoping to lose his pursuers. But Aria was already on his trail, her instincts honed from years of training. When their paths finally crossed, Zane found himself cornered. Aria emerged from the shadows, her blaster aimed directly at him. "It's over, Zane," she declared, voice steady but her gaze betraying a flicker of uncertainty. He raised his hands, a smirk playing on his lips. "I wouldn't be so sure about that, Captain." Before she could respond, a third ship, unmarked and sleek, descended from the sky, unleashing a barrage of fire that forced them to dive for cover. For a moment, their animosity faded, replaced by the instinct to survive. "Looks like we're both in trouble," Zane said, glancing at her. "Not for long if you cooperate," Aria shot back, though the tension between them crackled like the energy from the Nexus. Chapter 4: Nexus Secrets Unraveled. With the mercenaries on their heels, Zane and Aria forged an uneasy alliance. They navigated through the jungle, the sounds of the battle fading into the distance. The thick foliage whispered secrets as they pressed on, each step bringing them closer to uncovering the truth behind the Nexus. As they reached a hidden cave, Zane turned to her, his expression serious. The Nexus isn't just an ancient weapon. It's alive. I saw it, what it can do. It's not just about control. It wants to change everything. Aria narrowed her eyes, skepticism written across her face. And why should I trust you? You're a criminal. You'd rather see the galaxy burn than let someone like me take you in. Zane stepped closer, the air between them charged. Because if you don't, we'll lose everything. The Nexus has a will of its own, and it's more powerful than any weapon in your fleet. Her heart raced as their gazes locked, a silent battle of wills. There was something compelling about him, a raw energy that tugged at her instincts. But she pushed the feeling aside, focusing on the mission. We'll need to find the original creators of the Nexus, she replied, her voice firm. Only they can help us understand what we're dealing with. Then we're going to need each other, Zane said, a hint of challenge in his tone. And trust me, I'm not the only one who can bring something to the table. Chapter 5, Into the Heart of Darkness. Their journey through the dark underbelly of the planet led them to a hidden temple, shrouded in mystery and ancient technology. Zane took the lead, guiding Aria through the intricate designs, all while their chemistry simmered beneath the surface. What do you know about this place? Aria asked, her curiosity piqued. More than I should, Zane admitted, glancing at her with a mix of admiration and wariness. I used to run with a group of technomancers who believed the Nexus could give us ultimate power. But that power comes with a price. As they uncovered relics and holographic data, the air thickened with tension. Each revelation about the Nexus deepened their connection, revealing fragments of their pasts. Zane's reckless defiance and Aria's unwavering sense of duty. Why do you keep pushing me away? Zane asked, frustration lacing his voice. You're drawn to this just as much as I am. Because I can't afford to be distracted, Aria replied, her heart pounding. I have a duty to uphold. You're not just a rogue. You're a liability. But what if you want to be more than just a soldier? He countered, stepping closer. What if you're capable of feeling? Their faces hovered inches apart, a tantalizing distance that electrified the air. Just then, a loud crash echoed through the temple, shattering the moment and reminding them of the stakes at hand. Chapter 6, Seduced by Power. As they prepared to leave, a sinister presence loomed. The mercenaries had tracked them down, their ship hovering ominously above the temple. Zane and Aria exchanged glances, the urgency of their situation igniting their instincts. We have to fight our way out, Zane said, his expression fierce. I'll draw their fire. You flank them from the side. No, Aria insisted, grabbing his arm. We'll go together. I won't let you face this alone. Zane felt a surge of warmth at her words, the tension between them now tinged with something deeper. Then let's do this. Together, they launched into action, their movements synchronized as they fought side by side. Energy blasts filled the air, and adrenaline coursed through their veins. Every glance they exchanged, every brush of their bodies, ignited a flame that neither could ignore. In the heat of battle, Zane caught Aria's gaze, a momentary pause in the chaos. You're incredible, he said, his voice low. We make a good team. As they defeated the last of the mercenaries, their breath mingled in the charged air. Aria's heart raced as she stepped closer to Zane, feeling the weight of unspoken desires. But as reality crashed back in, she pulled away, her resolve faltering. We can't let this get in the way, she warned, though her voice lacked conviction. Chapter 7, The Betrayal. With their alliance solidified, they delved deeper into the secrets of the Nexus, but trust was a fragile thing. Zane's past as a technomancer haunted him, and Aria struggled to reconcile her feelings for him with her duty to the Galactic Council. One fateful night, while they camped under the stars, Zane shared a fragment of his past. I was part of a group that wanted to control the Nexus. They turned on me when I realized the cost of that power. Aria's heart ached for him, but doubt lingered. How do I know you won't turn on me? 2. You have this reckless ambition. Because I'd rather protect you than be consumed by it, Zane replied, sincerity gleaming in his eyes. But you have to trust me, Aria. Before she could respond, a blaster shot rang out, hitting the ground between them. A figure emerged from the shadows, one of Zane's former allies, betrayal etched across his face. You didn't think you could escape us, did you? Aria's instincts kicked in as Zane moved to protect her, but the betrayal cut deeper than any physical threat. You put us both in danger, Aria shouted at Zane, anger and hurt colliding in her chest. Chapter 8, The Nexus Unleashed. With the betrayal behind them, Zane and Aria raced against time to reach the Nexus before it fell into the wrong hands. But the darkness they had unleashed began to take its toll on their relationship. Zane struggled with the seductive call of the Nexus, while Aria battled her loyalty to the Council and her feelings for him. They found themselves at the threshold of the Nexus chamber, the air thick with energy. It's more powerful than we imagined, Aria breathed, fear mingling with awe. It's trying to communicate with us? Zane whispered, his eyes locked on the pulsating core. We need to harness its energy, but we have to be careful. As they approached the Nexus, the reality around them shifted. Zane could feel its pull, the allure of power calling to him. I can do this, Aria. Just trust me. No, she exclaimed, fear tightening her chest. You can't let it manipulate you. We need to stop it together. But Zane was already stepping forward, his fingers brushing against the core. A blinding light enveloped them, and visions surged through his mind. His past, his choices, and the future that awaited them both. Chapter 9, Final Confrontation. The Nexus unleashed its fury, distorting the very fabric of reality as Zane and Aria fought against its influence. The chamber trembled as waves of energy crashed against them, threatening to tear them apart. Zane, Aria shouted, reaching for him as the light grew brighter. We need to focus together. We can't let it win. With every ounce of strength, they connected, their minds intertwining. Zane felt Aria's warmth, her determination sparking something within him. Together, he echoed, their bond fueling their resolve. As they harnessed the energy of the Nexus, the tide began to shift. They fought back against the darkness, channeling their combined strength. The core pulsed violently, reacting to their defiance. In a final surge, Zane and Aria unleashed a wave of energy that shattered the Nexus's grip, restoring balance to the galaxy. But as the dust settled, the aftermath left them forever changed. Chapter 10, A New Reality. With the Nexus contained, Zane and Aria stood at the precipice of a new dawn. The galaxy had been saved, but their future together remained uncertain. I can't go back to being just a captain, Aria said softly, her gaze drifting toward the horizon. Not after everything we've been through. Zane stepped closer, his heart racing. Neither can I. We've seen too much, felt too much. We have a choice now. As the stars glittered above, their hands brushed together, a silent promise forming between them. Though the path ahead was unknown, one thing was certain. Their destinies were now intertwined. Together, they would face whatever challenges awaited, forging a new reality where duty and desire could coexist.